Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nurul Fatin binti Muhammad Asri. So today, me and my groupmate Hafizah Athirah, Amirah Zainina and Hafizah Athirah will present on topic speaking to inform and speaking to persuade. So, in this presentation, it will consist of the theoretical part of the both topic and the finding analysis from the interview that we have done. So, from the interview, we have choose one of the public speaker, which is Encik Muhammad Jinggo bin Ismail, or known as Cikgu Jinggo.
My name is Amirah Zainina binti Anwar. I would like to tell about the speaking to inform. What is the meaning of inform? Actually, inform is exactly we want to tell something knowledge to people. Okay, it's also including to impart or aspire people. What is the function of informative speaking? Firstly, the function is to shape our perception, and second is we want to tell detail to people or audience. Okay, what is the objective of or role of the speaker? Okay, firstly, objective or role of the speaker is creative and objective, and lastly is about knowledgeable. Okay, other than that, we also have a type of informative speech. Firstly, explanatory speech, definitional speech, and lastly is demonstrative speech. Okay, and lastly I want to tell is about how to develop informative speech to be very interesting. Firstly, we can tell a story, novelty, and also we can use our slide to gain attention from our audience.
I will proceed to the topic of speaking to persuade. What does it mean by persuasion? Persuasion means the process of teaching, reinforcing, or changing people's belief or action. Right now, I will highlight the importance of persuasion. The first one, we can see that today's job scopes are depend largely on persuading people. For example, being a lawyer or a preacher. Okay, the second one is understanding persuasion is vital in order for us to be an informed citizen or consumer. As for the third one, the more we know about persuasion, the more effective we can be in using our critical thinking. In every persuasive speech, there will be challenges. As for the first challenge is, we deal with controversial topics that touch our listeners' basic attitudes, values, and beliefs. So, it will increase their resistance to our speech. So, that will be very challenging. As for the second challenge, you will face some listeners who are strongly in favor of your position, or somewhat neutral, and even somewhat adamantly opposed to your position. So that is the challenges. There are three pillars of persuasion, namely ethos, pathos, and logos. Ethos means to be perceived by personal character of the speaker. Meanwhile, pathos refers to the emotional reasons for attitudes, belief, or actions. And lastly, logos. Logos means belief by its rational or logical proof in persuasive speech. Okay, there are three kinds of persuasive speeches, which is the first one is persuasive speeches on question of fact. Question of fact means a question about the truth or falsity of an assertion. The second one is the question of value. Question of value means the question about the worth, the rightness, or the morality of an idea or action. As for the third one is the question of policy. Question of policy means a question about a course of action should or should not be taken.
From the interview of the topic Speaking to Inform, we asked the interviewee about what is the importance of being an informative speaker to think creatively about how to give ideas when communicate. So he said that times have changed when public speakers are trained in the old way, such as just standing and talking just only using the slide, so people will reject them because there are no longer interest in the old way. So the public speaker actually need to change and think creatively so as not to be outdated and need to change with the passage of time. Because actually today people do not want to listen to long talks because they more prefer the short talks but reach to the heart.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Hafizah Athirah. So I am going to talk about the interview analysis for speaking to Persuade. So there is 8 questions that have been asked to the interviewee. So for the first question is, what do you know about speaking to Persuade and its importance? So the interviewer said the most important thing in public speaking is we want to deliver message well to the audience. And he said there is 3 important things we need to look up in the context of persuasion, which is enjoyment, similarity, and willingness. Cikgu Jingo said before we start our speech, we need to make sure that our 3V is ready, alright, in a good condition, which is our vocal, our visual, and also our verbal in a good condition.
Okay, now we move to critical argument, speaking to inform. Actually, if we look at the similarities between the literature and the interview, informative speaking as a kind of giving the information. But if we make the comparison between literature and the interview, we can see the different ways or method of the giving information. From the particular part that is important for the speaker to think about how the information will be presented to the audience. While from the interviewee, he used 3 important things, which is content, context, and choice to help the audience understand what is being conveyed. In our own words, the importance of public speaking is to give the information, although there is no topic about which you can give complete information, but if the information is accurate, complete, and clear, it will be useful to the audience.
Okay, so there is some sort of differences that we can see from the research that have been made and from the view of the interviewee. So according to the research, okay, it says that the challenge in persuading audience is that maybe public speaker may deal with controversial topics to touch the listeners' basic attitude, values, and beliefs. So and then according to Lucas, every persuasive speech may face some listeners who are strongly in favor of your position, some who are natural, and some who are adamantly opposed. So, Encik Jingo said, alright, the challenge that we have to encounter is we don't know the audience, and then the second one is we have to encounter with the environment that we do not usually encounter. From our own view, we think that both theoretical and Encik Jingo said is true, because sometimes as a public speaker, not everyone like us, or come to our talk voluntarily. Sometimes they are forced to come, and because of that, as a great public speaker, we need to be more adaptable person, alright, so that we can adapt easily with any kind of situation or any kind of audience. Okay, in the context of the similarities, according to the research that we have made, according to the theoretical research, one of the pillars, of persuasion is ethos, which is we tend to perceive personal character of someone. If the speaker, care about the audience welfare, trustworthy, and have relevant expertise, care about your topic, and have a good character, they will believe you. The audience will believe you. So the same way Cikgu Jingo said to us, which is if we get into the audience world, just like we get into the audience world, the audience will believe us. They build trust in us, alright.
In the conclusion, the informative speaking is very important because it can increase our audience knowledge to understand better. And lastly, persuasive speaking might influence audience about the belief and about the behavior to positive in the mind.